Hello, what's up everybody? This is Papa Bale. Welcome to the channel. Alright, so let me break this down real quick. I'm doing a hexagonal electromagnetic propagator. And really all I want to do is hook a bunch of coils wirelessly together and in a loop. That's what I want to do. And have the amount of energy being generated from the wireless pickup somehow be rather efficient is how I'm gonna state it, because I don't know exactly what's gonna happen. It's probably gonna equal out to be, less than what I put in, but if it if it's equal to, it'll work. But as all my studies have gone thusly, this is not a system that is going to function. So what I've done, just to test out, the different ways that the EMF is going to be, timed, basically. I used a signal generator before, and we got some pretty interesting readings with that. And now I'm going to use these two trigger coils on either side here to trigger each single file coil, which will then have the 32 gauge iron core behind it to pick up the EMF from the pole. And it is seriously stronger at the poles. Pole, pole. Hands down. That's where you want your pickup coils to be, in the pole. Like a star, like a pulsar star with the thing shooting out the top and the bottom. You want to be in the thing. That's where you want to be. That's home base. These coils need to be good enough for their home. They need to go just chill in their space. All right, so I'm going to turn this on real quick. And we'll go 12 volts. It's moving pretty good. I mean, it's probably going to end up moving about 1,000 RPMs. And I was thinking about, making some Litz wire coils. So this is my debate right now. I'm either going to make a third one of these, and we're going to roll with this, or I'm going to make a Litz wire coil right now and see which one is better. And then either make them all Litz wire coils, or just wait until I can make more coils anyway. But it'd be good to see, in my mind, which one's going to be what we roll with in doing this. I got two sizes that I can make. I can either make a 16-foot strand, or I can make a 9-foot strand from wall to wall. And that's the only walls that I can do it on. And there's no place to do this outside, really. I mean, my banisters outside are made of plastic. I can't put a hole in them anyway. I mean, the steps to the banister are made out of wood. I might be able to pull something off, but it's like the only place that I can screw in is the door frame around the shed, and that's less distance than wall to wall inside that I just mentioned. So I've thought this through a lot, and this is it. You either get 16 feet times whatever, or you get 9 feet times whatever. Those are the ones I can do. Now, there might be a way that I can get a longer one. I just saw it. If we go from the back wall to this wall, that's a lot longer. That's cool, man. We might be able to get like a 25 footer. But I won't be able to be, I have nowhere to do like the optimal 60 plus feet strands. I can't do it. But I mean, look, that from the pickup, I have the fat coil on the end there, and this coil, 18,000 and 22,000 turns of 32 in series, collecting off of the two fat 20 gauge coils, which are 1,500 turns apiece. I'd say it's pretty dang strong, man. I can back that out about half a foot, and then it'll still make it spin at a relatively decent speed. More like 4 inches, but literally had it backed out to right about there. The front of the pole was like right there, and it was still moving. I had the trigger coils in there nice and close, but everything else was backed out. I would like to, I'm going to just try something. And like honestly, I'll be right back. I'm going to hook this whole thing up on this, and I'm going to try and move this with the hexagonal propagator. And we're going to see like how it's going to start out. It's going to be sweet, I think, especially if it works. That'll be awesome. I might only go with 4 sections. And then I got a whole 3 pounds of 24 gauge, which I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with right at the moment. But I think this propagator is going to make this disc spin. At least I hope it will. Because, well, we'll see what goes on. We'll see what happens. Whew. Yeah, it's moving right along. So again, we're doing external trigger coils, and we're still getting the collapse energy from the timing on the coil. It's pretty awesome. At 12 volts in, we're lighting up 3 12-volt LEDs. And let's see what kind of energy we got coming out the other side after doing that. About 9 volts. So like this is what I'm saying. This is why it won't work. I got these hooked up in series. It's lighting 3 lights, granted, but that voltage is not gonna, it's gotta be that or higher. And it isn't. We could take all the lights off and see what we get. But, you know, that's not what we want. We want at least 1 light for every section so we can see what's going on in that particular part of the project. But this is exactly what I want. This is so modular that I could just take this apart and put it together 15 times in less than an hour. I mean, it is so like second nature to me. It looks complicated, but it's really not, especially if you're like doing it one step at a time. It's pretty linear. You know, It's but yeah, I mean the fact that the alligator clips are 3 feet long like doesn't help when you're working in like a 2.5 foot space. But yeah, that's stable at 879 DC volts, lighting 3 LEDs, 12 volts in, and it's all wireless pickup. That is linked in series. So, I could do it separately, but then I'd have to get another bridge rectifier out. And I can do that. And then, when I put together the final project, that's probably what we're going to do is have a DC full wave rectifier in each section. But I mean, just with these 6 coils right here, there's like tons of different things I can do, especially if I change up the rotor. God dang, if I put the 12 magnet rotor in there, I don't know, man. I mean, like, it's still only like 5 or 6 things you can do. It's a little bit more than what you can do with the 4 magnet rotor. I mean, this is pretty much it. You can rearrange these coils several ways, like 3 ways, with the 4 magnet rotor. You can go this alone with one trigger, either here, here, or here. You can do both of them with the triggers where they're at. You can shift that one over here and put the trigger at the top and the side. There are different things you can do, and the outcome is inevitably going to be the same pretty much every time. There might be minuscule differences, maybe from spinning the rotor one way and then spinning it the other way, but I mean, it's not anything that you need to get excited over. This is pretty much it for the 4 magnet rotor and these coils. But if I whip out another rotor, like say the 9 magnet rotor, now that would be interesting, in my opinion, because there's only 9 is a special rotor. Because it's very specific. It's like a 7, or a 5. It's very specific. It's not like you can change it into, it's either 1 or the number. 9 is magical because you can put 3 in there. You can have a 120 in there. But it's like 9, 3, or 1. The 12 magnet rotor, you can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. The 12 magnet rotor is versatile, extremely versatile. You got your 8 magnet one that is also limited. You got 8, 2, 4. You got your 6, which is, you got your 3, your 2, and your 6. Yeah, 9, you don't even get 2. You can't put 2 on 9 because it'll be way off balance. I mean, you can definitely make it work, but the weight is wrong. It's just flat out wrong. And it will falter at high speeds if you do it like that. All this stuff will break at high speed. And when I'm saying high, I'm talking like 20,000 RPMs. This stuff starts to melt. Doesn't matter what energy is going into it, the friction will cause it to melt. It's just... All right, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying you can't get around it by like changing the temperature of everything. But I really, and especially if you want to be passionate about it, show me the scat. Seriously, just show me the proof that this is a thing or can be a thing. And I'm not talking about some obscure math that got made up 10 years ago, man. Nothing like that. And just show me. Tell me why it works. Tell me that, if we tried, we could get there tomorrow if we wanted to. Tell me that. Tell me that this is like, it's not just I can speak hypotheticals all day, but I wouldn't do that because, and I more than anybody want this stuff to be real, like down to it being like on the shelf real. Because literally, if it gets bogged up in process, it's not real. And it won't be real unless you change that, you know? And that my brother's been working on the policy part of things, up in the government section of all this. And I think it's, it's got to be like a full frontal attack, man, on all fronts. It can't just be, and I don't even know. It's just so, we needed like to all come together and do what we're good at and have it add up to something in this sector. I don't know if I'm good at anything except talking negatively. I'm good at that. I got a decent memory. It's not great. I do some things that hurt that sometimes, not all the time. But yeah, like certain herbs make the memory go out the window. So yeah, I mean, this is all going to be really fun for me to do. Hopefully, other people are enjoying it as I progress. So we have two sections complete. They both pulse at the same, quote unquote, the same time. In a section series. So like if you're building a hexagon and this is one of the sides, these two coils would make up one of the sides of the hexagon. And then like one would go here, there, there. Boom, it's done. And it's supposed to like bleed, propagate, toroidally around and around and around in that hexagonal shape. And maybe since they're coils, that's why I'm calling it toroidal, since it's a round hexagon, or a cylindrical hexagon, I should say. But you can call it round. It's definitely round. I mean, geez, man, if that's not round, I'm insane. But it is cylindrical. But, a cylindrical is a round and a cylinder. Maybe two rounds and a cylinder. Anyway, I think this is awesome. I want to call it pulsar just because of how it looks. That's awesome. I think that's great. This is how the power is getting to both the Eve distribution model, power distribution, and then this is how the power is getting to the lights. And both of these coils are hooked up in series. So that's awesome. All right. Thank you very much. Peace out. Have a great night. Please subscribe. Bye now.